Hey, today we're going to be talking about Edwin Gordon and his 8 stages of music learning theory. The 8 stages include aural, verbal association, partial synthesis, symbolic association, composite synthesis, generalization, creativity improvisation, and theoretical understanding. We will be talking about what each sequence entails, and how teachers use each theory within their classroom. So first, we talk about discrimination learning. Sequence 1, aural. The first 5 sequences of the music learning theory are all part of discrimination learning. Discrimination learning is mostly comprised of a format of call and response that students may perform as a group or as individuals. Aural is the most basic level, and is the foundation as to where music learning theory is built. Listening is the aural part, while performing, usually singing, is the oral part. In this sequence, students use neutral syllables for tonal and rhythm patterns, like bum or ba. Sequence 2, verbal association. In this sequence, students are taught to put names to patterns and tonalities they learned at the first level. They are now learned by using solfege syllables or rhythmic solfege between patterns. There are 2 types of verbal association. The main type is rhythm and tonal solfege syllables assigned to individual pitches. For example, the tonal syllables of do, mi, so can be applied to the notes F, A, C, and F major. The students are not taught, however, the music theory level of skill learning, because they are not taught why the concepts are what they are.
Alright, so next we have sequence 3, the partial synthesis. At this stage, students are able to put 2 and 2 together. For example, a teacher performs a similar melody or rhythm without solfege, or first establishing the tonality of the piece, and the student should be able to identify the tonality as well as the meter. At this stage, students are finally able to think intelligently and musically when listening to music. So next slide we have sequence 4, symbolic association. At this stage, students will learn to read and write music by associating the sound and solfege patterns they've learned previously. It's more of a recognition process, not a decoding process. Teachers will write a pattern like this one on the screen, and they tell their students that what you're audiating looks like this. And then they are able to bring meaning to the notation, rather than trying to take meaning from the notation. Students are not taught letter names or time values of individual notes. That is taught in the theoretical understanding level, or the music theory level, as we know it best. Next we have sequence 5, the composite synthesis sequence. At this stage, students are able to take what they were taught in partial synthesis, and they are now able to write it down, but also to identify tonality and meter of a series of tonal or rhythm patterns.
All right, sequence 6 is generalization and inference learning. The last 3 sequences in Gordon's music learning theory are all part of inference learning. Inference learning is all about students making their own discoveries with music. They are able to create and improvise unfamiliar patterns, and teachers teach students how to learn, and the student teaches themselves what to learn. In the generalization stage, students are able to recognize if 2 or more patterns are the same, sing or chant a rhythm back on proper solfege after hearing a piece without it, and sight read unfamiliar patterns. Sequence 7 is creativity and improvisation. This sequence is exactly what it says. Students are able to create their own music and improvise with the music. Creativity is much easier because there aren't as many restrictions compared to improvisation. So students are creating their own song in a classroom. This level consists of echoes between teachers and students. Let's say a teacher sings a specific rhythm and the class has to echo. With creativity, the student can respond with a different pattern in any function. With improvisation, students have to respond within a specific function stated by the teacher. Finally, we come to the final sequence, theoretical understanding. We've finally reached the music theory aspect of music, a subject we all love so much. This is the why music is what it is. This stage strengthens what you have been taught at the lower levels of music learning. Gordon says that to get the best results, audiation along with music theory is essential. Thanks to these professors, we are able to identify key signatures, identify intervals, and spell chords, which are just a few of the concepts we have learned since the beginning of music theory, which have only strengthened our understanding of music.